What could arguably be called the original large smartphone now gets competition from the Apple side of the camp. Hey, it's Josh Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And this is the iPhone 6 Plus versus the Galaxy Note 3. Now what we have here are two devices with an iconic design that's very easy to recognize. As Samsung has more experience in designing and building large phones, it shows in the streamlined lines of the Note 3 and its large screen-to-footprint ratio. But on the other hand, the iPhone 6 Plus is Apple's first foray into this category, and at least design-wise, it's proving to be a promising one. On the front, the big difference is the large bezels on the top and bottom of the iPhone 6 Plus. While they are necessary to accommodate the Touch ID home button and to preserve the iconic form factor, they do make the 6 Plus much larger than it probably needs to be. As a result, the 6 Plus is actually larger than the Note 3, even if its screen is 0.2 inches smaller. For the same reason, the Note 3 feels more compact, even if it's a bit thicker than the iPhone. But the iPhone 6 Plus has a metal construction all around with a curved design on all of the edges, while the Note 3 features a plastic build with a leathery texture on the back that we did find to be a nice bump up from the Note 2 before it. This gives it a soft feel and an excellent grip in the hand, and as opposed to the smooth iPhone, which can be pretty slippery in the hand. But that said, the metal body of the iPhone does feel pretty premium and makes for a durable device, as we've seen in our earlier drop test. When it comes to the screens, there's basically one major difference, because the size difference is just very minuscule. But the underlying technology is where the differences are, as Samsung uses a full HD AMOLED screen with deep blacks and colors that just pop, and it's pretty much what you expect from Samsung displays of this nature, while Apple has an LCD screen that now has 1080p resolution in this larger screen that is a bit more restrained in terms of that saturation. But both displays are going to be equally crisp, the viewing angles are going to be great, and the brightness is pretty excellent. These truly are the best LCD and AMOLED technologies that they have to offer, and they come from the two biggest manufacturers of smartphones available, so there's no surprise there. When you look at just the specs on paper, the Note 3 does seem to have more powerful specifications, but then again, we're talking about very different platforms and very different needs from both of them in their processing packages, because the 6 Plus comes with a dual-core new A8 processor and 1GB of RAM, but that is more than enough to make the device fly through its user interface and apps, apparently. The Note 3 is no slouch either, even if it's already a year old, with the Snapdragon 800 that still remains a top processor and is helped by 3GB of RAM, which help it with all of the multitasking it is available to do. The iPhone 6 Plus features 16, 64, and 128GB of storage, while the Note 3 only had 64GB, though the micro SD card slot can make up for that difference. And the 6 Plus does have that fingerprint scanner in its circular home button, and if that's important to you, we will say that the Note 4 coming next month will have it in its home button at that time. The Note 3 has a slightly larger battery, and it also has the benefit of being removable, so we expect that both devices will feature pretty great battery life, but it is nice that the Note 3 will be able to let you use spares if you so need them. We make it over to camera, where we find a 13-megapixel rear camera shooter in the Note 3 that did a great job in bright scenes with crisp details and fine color reproduction. The camera was known for its good macros, solid video, and a multitude of software features and options that you may or may not be using. It's in low-light situations that the Note 3 does show some of its limits, which is a problem that is common on many mobile devices, especially when there's no optical image stabilization. Now, Apple did stick to 8 megapixels for their rear camera in the iPhone 6 Plus, but the sensor is supposedly all new. And thanks to a tech called Focus Pixels, the camera should be able to have fast focusing time, which is good. 8 megapixels is at the low limit for smartphone camera technology today, but if larger, more detailed pics are what you want, the Note 3 is the way to go. But the iPhone 6 Plus does come with optical image stabilization, which might help it perform better in low light tests. And finally, in software, we do see that the features of the Note 3 always revolve around the S Pen stylus, which is one of its main trump cards. You get features like the Air Command, S Note, floating apps, S Finder, handwriting recognition, and all that you would need in order to feel even more executive when it comes to your large form factor device. But Samsung does make good use of the screen real estate with its multi-window feature, which lets you open up 2 apps at a time, and floating apps let you pin all the small utility apps like Calculator and S Note on the screen for easy access. So there's no shortage of what you're able to do with the Galaxy Note 3, something that we've always come to expect from Samsung at this point. But the iPhone 6 Plus comes with the same colorful interface introduced last year, but with a bevy of new features that bring iOS closer to Android in terms of sheer functionality. Things like widgets, custom keyboards, and a battery app usage usage breakdown are welcome. Continuity is available for syncing across devices, and the health application is actually quite robust, something that I thought was quite nice about this new iteration of the iPhone. So overall, the iPhone 6 Plus is becoming quite the competitive device, but the Note 3 is probably the better productivity device because its multitasking abilities are definitely more powerful than that of the iPhone 6 Plus. And so there you have it for this look at the iPhone 6 Plus, the brand new large phone by Apple against the Galaxy Note 3, probably one of its closest competitors. It's definitely going to be one of the phones that gets the buzz around the iPhone, but the Galaxy Note 4 is just on its way, and you can bet that we're going to do a comparison between that and this new iPhone 6 as well. So keep it tuned here for that and even more on the iPhone line as we take a look at it against the Android competition. Of course, we are Android Authority, and we are your source for all things Android.